This is Bill Gladwell, and welcome to episode number 1 of the Hey Look at Me podcast. This episode, I sit down with comedian Mike Armstrong. I first heard of Mike on the Bob and Tom Show. Mike has made a name for himself on the Bob and Tom Show as their favorite ex-cop. And he has also appeared on Comedy Central, HBO, CMT, Fox, and across the U.S. We talk about how he made the move from being a cop to comedian, and what it takes to be successful. So enjoy episode number 1 of the Hey Look at Me podcast.
I'm going to do this, okay?
That's what she hates when people sing. She's like, sorry, yeah. And headphones.
Then I'm going to use my voice. Well, Bill,
yeah. And plus, my voice is still not back to full speed anyways.
No, you sound great.
I don't even know how to start the podcast, but let's see.
Yeah, I'd say your name.
Yeah, right. Episode number 1, right?
Yeah.
Something we haven't named yet. We'll have it named before it gets produced. So.
Maybe that's a good name. Hasn't been named yet.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
No name. Welcome to Bill. No Name Podcast.
Okay. We're having our pictures taken. Good. All right, so I guess we start. We'll just probably start the first episode 1 of podcast of I have no idea what it's going to be called yet. So
No Name.
No name.
Call it No Name. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm Bill Gladwell. If you don't know me, look me up. Google me. So,
I'm the guest, Mike Armstrong.
And if you don't know Mike, you can probably look him up too, right?
I've been on HBO, Comedy Central, CMT, Fox. I'm the ex-cop from the Bob and Tom Show. That's what everybody knows me from.
Yeah, well, that's how I knew you from. Is from the Bob and Tom Show.
I'm a comedian.
I
thought I'd throw that in there.
Right. I mean, you've been on the Bob and Tom Show for a while.
1,000 times. Yeah, probably 15 years.
Man.
And that's when my career started. I actually was going to quit comedy and go back on the police department. And Bob goes, no, don't do that. We'll make you famous. We'll make you money.
Really?
Everybody's going to know who you are. And I said, okay. I trusted him. So, because I just couldn't make no money in comedy. I had too many kids, and I had a wife at the time. And, anybody that's a comedian, you're going to go through at least 1 or 2 wives. I mean, they always meet waitresses and then go, oh, she understands because she was in comedy. And then all of a sudden she has a baby. Oh, it must be nice. You are down in Florida at the beach while I'm sitting here changing diapers. And then they get a divorce.
Yeah. Yeah, well, how did you you were a cop.
Yeah.
But did you want to be a comic before that?
No, I didn't even know what comedy was about. There was actually a comedy club in Louisville where I'm from. And there was actually a disturbance one night at the club, and me and about 5 other cops walked in because we didn't even know what I did not even know what a comedy club was.
Okay.
I knew they existed, but I assumed they existed in Vegas or California or something like that, But we walk in, there's a comedian on stage, and he doesn't know that we're cops, and he tells us to shut up. And I said, you better shut your face, boy. I said, before you go to jail. Well, then the manager yelled, show's over. So me and him are actually very good friends now.
Really?
The comedian I was going to arrest because I was mad telling me shut up.
Yeah.
But he couldn't see me in the dark, so, And then that's how I kind of got interested in it. I thought, well, I didn't really think he was that funny.
I've seen people like that.
Okay, I'm going to try it out. And then they opened up a new club in Louisville, and I went down and watched open mic for probably 3 weeks. 1 week I'd listen to material. Next week I'd watch the way they walked around on stage. And next week I'd watch how they used the microphone. And I went, oh, okay, I can do this. And I went up the first night on open mic, and I never told anybody I was going. And there was a contest, and I didn't even know there was a contest. There was most of them were feature acts and stuff like that, and other open micers, and I won.
Really?
Yeah. And they go, you won. And I go, won what? I don't even know what I won. I won $300.
Did you get a medal?
No, I got $300.
$300. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Was it one? I've been to open mics before, not to watch. I've been there to watch. And the ones I've been to, you have to bribe by bringing in like 7 or 8 friends, and then you can get
Yeah,
a
but
spot.
see, back in the old days when I started, people would pack open mics because they wanted to be the one to say, we seen you when you first started. Now, see, I came up with a good crew. I mean, most of us are still doing comedy, so and most, like Spike Davis, after about a year and a half of open mic, I had a partner called Spike Davis, and it was the Mike and Spike show. And he was a black guy, and he played the sophisticated guy, and I was like the dumb redneck kind of guy, and we'd both go up there, and all we did was try to mess with each other, try to throw. I'd go, hey, Spike, why don't you start out with that song you like to sing? Then he'd look at me and he'd go, well, I forgot how it starts. Why don't you go on? But we did back in the old days, you'd open up at strip clubs. I mean, it ain't like
How long ago was that?
Back in like 90.
Okay.
And comics now, I mean, they're so, everything has to be perfect. Oh, I can't work under these conditions, And back in the old days, they'd send you to a strip club, and you'd be going up between strippers, So
yeah.
Me and Spike did a show, and there was this redneck white trash. I mean, white trash. It was called the Leaping Frog. So we go in, and it's Hell's Angels. So we walk up on stage, and of course they're calling Spike, the N-word, and they're calling me, all this stuff. So I pulled my badge out, my gun, and I laid it on the stool.
Were you still on the force at the time?
Yeah. And I said, whoever heckles next, and if you don't laugh, I'm locking the doors, and I'm going to run everybody for warrants. Now you better laugh. And they loved us.
Can you do that for me tonight? Just to have that.
You're killing, baby. You do your job very well.
It's a little bit different. I'm not a stand-up. I'm a mentalist. If anybody listening doesn't know,
you do.
I'm a thought reader. Is what's on my business card.
Why didn't you show up at my divorce? I could have used you.
Or before.
Yeah. What hotel? I see a hotel. I see a man.
That's right. We're probably changing the subject completely, but when you first started back in the 90s, I've heard from other comics that comedy has changed over the last 20 years.
It used to be, if you didn't say the F word every other sentence, they didn't even want to use you. I can remember people going, you're too clean.
Really?
I can't use you, you're too clean, you're boring.
How's that compared to now?
Now, you have to be clean almost. Nobody wants to hear the other stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's made its full circle.
Okay.
And I always told everybody, well, you want to be a $200 a night barroom comic, that's fine. I want to do corporate, and that's what I do mostly. And I do mostly corporate or small theaters because I do the Bob and Tom stuff, But it's a business.
It
and
is.
These young comics coming up, they do one open mic, and you ask them what they do for a living. They go, "Oh, I'm a comic." I go, "You're not a comic till you put it on your taxes."
Yep.
And shut your face. And I had a guy like one night I get a standing ovation at a theater, and there's like 800 people, and he's been open micing for. He comes up and he goes, "I made a list of things I thought maybe you might want to do," and I set it on fire. I go, "Are you just an ignorant jackass?" I go, "You're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're not going to be in this business very long." Or they come in, they're open mic, and they got their cousin as managers, and the manager's going, "Well, my man needs chocolate cake, homemade, before he goes on stage." And you're an open micer. Shut up. Do the time. They don't want to do the time.
Well, I was going to ask you about that.
It takes 10 years.
That's what I was going to ask you.
It takes 10 years.
Is that how long you did the open micing?
I did open mic. See, there wasn't that many comics when I was doing it. If you did open mic over 6 weeks, agents were calling you. They needed people.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Now there's 10,000 guys, and they're all backstabbing each other. See, that's another thing I'm not used to. So all the comics I came up with, we all helped each other.
Right, yeah.
And we traded material. We wrote material for each other. These guys nowadays, they backstab you, and they're just ruthless. And they think they're getting ahead, but they're really just making enemies.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that just falls or is contained to the comic business because...
Oh, it's in everything.
Yeah,
it's in show business.
It is show business because I mentalism, what I do, falls under, and hypnosis falls under the magic umbrella. Mm-hmm. And magicians are the same way. They just,
and they call you a boat act. That's what we call like guitar acts or magic.
That's right.
He can't do his show without everybody going back and forth, swaying back and forth. There's so... But
That's
see,
right.
To me, now this is my philosophy. I did PBS, and they asked me about Carrot Top. Carrot Top's a friend of mine. I said, but I don't like his act.
Okay.
I mean, go to Toys R Us and make an act? It makes no sense,
Have you told him that?
Oh, yeah. I told him, I go, I seen Carrot, I said, didn't I see you at Toys R Us buying a new act? I say stuff like that, But he's good for business.
He is. He brings in a lot of business out there.
Yeah. Anytime any comic hypnotist, what you do, what everybody does, it brings people in.
Yep.
The more people come in, the more people they want to see everything.
Well, it's good for business if they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been with some guys. I go, whoever told you were funny should be slapped. They're just horrible. And
yeah.
You go, how did you get this gig? And then you get the cocky ones. I'm known for like whacking on people. If you're cocky, when they come off, I go, hey, where are you going? What are you going to do? And they go, well, I'm going to go back to the hotel. No, I go, what are you going to do after this pipe dream of comedy is over with? That's what I'm asking you. I mean, there's 2,000 comics and they're all busy. How'd you get this gig? I say,
no, right. Yeah, I've seen some comics that I've mentioned to my wife that, I could do comedy if this is what it is. Because they're not good. It surprises me that how some of them make it as far as they get. And I don't know if their mom owns a comedy club or what happens. But
well, you know what? All these comics coming up, they're worried about what everybody else is doing. I go, don't worry about what they're doing. Yeah. I've got friends that are jerks. And there's one on Comedy Central right now. He's got a really popular show. He's a jerk.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but, and everybody's like, aren't you mad about that? And I go, why should I be mad about it? He's going to destroy his own career eventually, And I'm making my whatever thousands of dollars a year. I got a condo in Louisville. I got a lake house up in Georgia, up in the mountains. I got a car. I got a truck. My kids are grown. They all turned out good.
Yeah.
I have a good life. I go to bed when I want to. I wake up when I want to. People call me. I say, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'll do it,
Yep.
I got a good life. I'm single, and I don't have to deal with all that stuff. My life's good.
Well, you take, I think you told me a lot of your bookings come from Facebook.
Yeah.
And do you have agents that
also
I have, represent you?
I have like 6 agents that represent me, but I'd say most of my gigs come from, I'd say 40% come from Facebook.
Oh, got it. And did you have an agent from the start?
No. I had an agent after I did HBO and Comedy Central. Didn't they come to you?
That's what I was going to ask. Eric Diddleman, he was the mentalist that made it to the top 10 or something like that on America's Got Talent, is a friend of mine. And I asked him one day, I said, how did you get your agent? He goes, I didn't have one. As soon as they saw me get to the top 10 on America's Got Talent.
Oh, they come to you.
Yeah, they came. And the same here. I didn't have anybody talking to me. They wouldn't answer my emails or phone calls until I got into a theater and people started to notice me. And then the agents came.
Oh, yeah. Then they come. But, people sign with these agents too much. And I go, it's not what you can do for them. It's what they can do for you. You say, what can you do for me? Because I'm already doing okay.
Yeah.
You're not going to get 15% of my money if you're not doing nothing for me.
Yeah, right.
And my agent or my manager got me a half-hour special on CMT. So I thought, well, she's got some pool, so I signed with her for 2 years. And then after that, it was just like nothing.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I paid out the boo-hoo-hoo over for that half hour.
Yeah.
And, and a lot of people go, oh, you've been on HBO and Comedy Central. You know what? All it does is justify you charging a lot of theaters. Because most people have never seen you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Unless they're clicking through or you're like really, really big, I'm on HBO 2,
Yeah.
and Comedy Central showing it at 1 o'clock in the morning. So unless you're, and I said something about Obama, and so that kind of, they nailed me after that anyway,
Yeah.
for like about 5 years.
And you tend to stay away from politics now, though.
I've always stayed away from politics.
Yeah.
I just got sick of everybody talking about Obama being a god, and so I thought, man, I'm going to just say something nasty. And the joke was, I said, how you people think Obama's Jesus? Jesus could build a cabinet. That's all I said.
That was good.
That's all I said. And they got over 1 million complaints from these little punks.
Really?
These little college kids that trust fund yuppies that's never worked a day in their life.
Shoot off an email.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're going to stop his career. He offended me.
Yeah. Do you find the new comics trying to get into the business now? Are they wanting to find an agent right away?
Yeah. I think their biggest problem is they want to walk the edge.
Oh.
They want to be that anti-establishment. We hate the Republicans, and we're poor people. Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
And all they want to do is get drunk and hit on the wait staff. So most of them don't go very far.
No, I know if you look at people that have been in the business for a while, but it's nothing like that. It's a business first, and you have to know how to run your business and how to speak with people and how to treat people right, or you're not getting anywhere.
And there might be a little big in their little pond, their open mic pond, and then all of a sudden they're talking to agents and demanding stuff. These agents are getting like 50,000 people. They're not going to put up with that crap, And I tell these guys, shut your face, be as clean as you can. If you do hit the road, make sure your car's running right. Have AAA and have a credit card with at least $500. Because when you check in the hotel now, they want, because some of them tear up stuff and, and all. I mean, just trying to build a reputation.
Yeah.
There was one I knew, and he would just do all kinds of stuff, just trying to get a reputation. And he went to jail like 4 times, and everybody went, you're too risky. I worked with him one time. Funny guy, just a punk. He ordered a pizza without having any money. When the pizza guy brought it, he took a bite and said, I ain't got no money. What are you going to do about it now? Well, the guy calls the cops. So the cops come to my room and said, we're taking him to jail if you don't pay $16. I said, take him to jail. I don't care.
Yeah, it's a little odd with some of the people that I run into. That now, see, it doesn't bother me if a comic or any other entertainer plays blue, or if they're completely clean. I have always been clean only because I think, like you, I started off in the corporate market, and you have to play clean in the corporate market, and I didn't see a need to go any other way.
Even when you're clean at a corporate show, they'll nitpick you.
Oh, they do.
I used to do corporate shows for Dairy Queen, and we didn't end bad or nothing. It's just I said something like, I walked in the restaurant, and the hotel was monstrous. There was rodeo people and Dairy Queen people. And just so happens the big wig for Dairy Queen.
Rodeo people?
Yeah.
Where'd they come from?
I have no idea.
Okay.
There was a rodeo in town. They were all standing there. And then the Dairy Queen people. It was like a real, 1,000-room monster hotel. So when you walked in the restaurant, you said, I'm with Dairy Queen. You got your meals free, or if you rodeo. So the girl goes, are you with Dairy Queen or the rodeo? And I took my cap off, and I said, I'm with Dairy Queen. Can't you tell the way my hair swirled? Well, it just so happens the head of Dairy Queen was sitting there, and it made him mad.
Really? He just happened to hear you?
Yeah. Made him mad. And but his dad was the big boss, and his dad was like 90-something years old, and his dad is the one that liked me. So he always had me. So after his dad died, I knew that was gone.
Yeah, you never know what people are going to take offense to.
Well, you know, it's really weird.
Yeah.
And don't fall for, you know, all these comics are always trying to be so liberal and talking bad about, you know, Republicans or racial stuff and all that. I go, quit saying that crap on Facebook, you know, because the Republicans are the ones that hire for corporate shows. It's not the Democrats. If a liberal group does want you, they want you to do it free, you know. And I ain't doing nothing free, you know.
It's your job, it's your career.
Yeah, that's how I make my money. And they'll go, but you're going to have fun. We can offer you a meal. You want me to fly in, do a show, get my own hotel for a dinner. You're nuts.
Well, no, that's right. Yeah. Well, you know, I see a lot of entertainers coming into the business, what you do or what I do, and they think if they're good, that's all they need to be. If they do the open mics and they get really good, people will notice them. Once in a while that happens, but there's a lot of work that I know I do besides the 80 minutes that I'm on stage.
Right.
And I don't think a lot of the old guys that I know,
you got to work the phone. You got to, you know, I'm on the phone probably 4 hours a day.
Me too.
And if not, I'm checking my emails, my Facebook. And some of these guys check their emails like every 3 days. I go, are you an idiot?
Yeah, somebody else is going to get that gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they want to know now, you know.
Yes.
And I've had gigs where they call me or email me and say, can you do this? And I go, let me get my book. And by the time I get back, within minutes, they go, we already got it booked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you get these guys that they just don't try hard. They want other comics to take them with them.
Yeah.
I got a friend like that. The only work he does is when I take him or somebody else takes him. So I cut him off. I did it for a year, and I cut him off just January. He did New Year's Eve with me. I said, you know, this is the last one. He goes, I thought we were friends. We are friends, but this is the last one because you're lazy. You're living with your girlfriend that works 2 jobs. You know, you're using her car, and you're wanting everybody to pick you up to take you on a gig with them. No. That's normal comic, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, we talked about this the other night, too. People, entertainers, comics, or people in my business, too, coming in, and they want to guest during your set.
No.
I don't let anybody on either. I mean, I'll bring them in at the club, but I don't let them on during my set.
Yeah. Because, you know, they're going to try to push their agenda, and they're liable to take that show in a completely different direction, you know. And they're F-bomb and everything, and then all of a sudden the other 2 acts are clean. Because every time I bring somebody with me, they're clean. And then all of a sudden I got a guest spot that's up there, you know, talking about his mom and, you know, how he had sex with her and all. I mean, being graphic, you know, or, you know, he's a baby rapist or some kind of craziness. And you're going, what? Are you, you know, somebody shoot him. Don't take him on, drag him off the stage.
And these are the same people that either are jealous or wonder why we're where we're at.
Yeah.
So,
you just can't follow me.
Yeah, or you just got lucky. Yeah. You guys, I have a lot of people tell me that. But
well, you know, I've had comics that hated me because I was on Bob and Tom all the time, and they weren't.
Now, how did that happen?
You know, it was really weird. A friend of mine got me on Bob and Tom, and I ate it. Literally, just did terrible.
Really?
Yeah. And they asked me, they said, oh, thanks for coming out. After 10 minutes I was on there, I went, oh, my gosh. I mean,
What went so wrong? I mean, what was it? First time on the radio or something, or was it?
No, it wasn't gelling.
Okay.
It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I just didn't feel good, and I wasn't into it. And I knew I screwed up. But I just went, okay, if I ever get another shot on there, I'll be prepared. A year later, I see Tom in the mall. And he goes, hey, didn't we have you on the show? I go, yeah. I said, I did terrible. I said, I can't make excuses. I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't prepared for that kind of, 5 people sitting around, a monster room, and everybody's talking at one time, and, you're trying to jump in, and he goes, well, let's try it one more time. Come on in tomorrow. I come in.
Why do you think he did that?
Tom's a great guy. Bob's a great guy. Everybody on that show is just, I can't say enough about them. I make the sign of the cross when I say their name most of the time. Because, I mean, without them, I wouldn't have nothing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have nothing. I'd be out of business. But I went in, and I never told anybody I was an ex-cop. Never. And somebody emailed in, you know he was a cop. Asked him about the time he shot that guy's finger off. Well, now I'm telling police stories.
Right. And that's how I learned about you.
And they loved me. They had me in the next day, which has never happened, and played me for like 2 hours that morning before the show even started. And I killed again. And then I never... They know I appreciate them so much, but I don't suck up to them. I talk to them like they're normal people, you know. And when I did my first CD, Bob and Tom produced it. They did start to finish. They even brought in all the stuff to record it live. I mean, they did it all and never charged me a nickel.
That's nice.
Because they want to help comics.
Yeah, they've launched a lot of careers.
And they don't want nothing in return. I mean, they really don't. They really don't want anything in return.
Well, they really don't need anything, I guess.
Yeah, but, you know, you would think people with that much power would have big heads, but they don't.
That's nice.
It's
good to hear.
Well, like I told you, I said when I had my house built, one brick went in and said the house that Bob and Tom built.
Yeah.
You know, because I knew where my money was coming from. And I can't say nothing but good things about them. Nothing but good things.
I mean, you say they launched your career. I mean, it's because of them.
Because I would have never got nothing.
So what happened? Did things happen after the first time or the second time you were on Bob and Tom?
Second time I was on, it shut my website down. I had so many people.
Okay.
I mean, it was just craziness. I mean, it's like you become an instant celebrity. You know, that more people listen to Bob and Tom than The Tonight Show, David Letterman, all put together.
And worldwide, because I subscribe to their VIP.
Yeah.
Because I can't, I just don't have time in the mornings or I'm not up because of my schedule. And
people, a lot of times they don't even know what you look like. But they love you, you know. Yeah. And when you're somewhere, they come piling out. I mean, Bob and Tom fans are the best in the world. And you do these theaters, and there might be 4 Bob and Tom guys, and we're all completely different, but they adjust to each person. It's really weird. I mean, 4 different personalities and 4 different types of whatever. And plus, I'm different from other comics. You know, everybody knows I'm real clean, but if you listen to my jokes, I'm cruel.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've noticed that.
But I laugh about it because they know I'm kidding.
Yeah.
You know? But I'm cruel.
Yeah.
But everybody goes, oh, he's so cute when he wants to kill his wife, you know, and that kind of stuff. Because I'm little, you know, and I laugh. I laugh all the time. I just have a good time.
And I think I heard you the first time you were on the Bob and Tom. I've been listening to them for years, and
well, see, I've gotten to the point I don't have to be funny anymore when I go on.
No, you can just be.
I just talk.
You. Yeah.
And I usually take the side of police, whatever's going on, or like if they're for something, I'll go the opposite direction. You know, just to make them mad.
Well, it seems like that. At least Tom he does his homework.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he knows he leads whoever's on the show. He does the best that he can to make them look good.
Right.
And if you don't look good, it's not his fault. Yeah, it's your fault.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've seen guys. There was one guy they had on the show one time, and he was just anti-police. And I was coming in to make a commercial for him. I was doing a voice or something, one of the voices, characters or something.
Yeah.
And Bob comes out, come in here and tear this guy up. The guy had no idea that he was being set up, and I was just ripping this guy. He was from New York. I was just ripping him to pieces. And then the guy calls me white trash.
Really?
I was dying laughing. I go, white trash? I go, white trash knock you out of that chair, boy. I said, I'm a redneck. I'm going to be waiting out in the parking lot. I said, I'm going to beat your ass when you come out. And he was scared to death.
I've heard it was somebody from the Bob and Tom show. Right after a comic leaves, that's new, or maybe the next day, make just under their breath, but they say it on the air is that he won't be back.
Yeah. I always tell everybody, I go, if you hear Bob go, that means you're gone. When you do a joke and you do a couple jokes and he goes, you're gone.
Yeah.
Because that's Bob don't put up with nothing.
Yeah.
I love Bob. He's just funny to me.
Yeah.
I talk to Bob whenever I'm done there.
Yeah.
Or like the last time I was there, I when I walked in the room, I said, I'm going to start a fight with Chick. And I don't even know why I did it. I go, hey, Chick, do those shirts come in men's colors? That's how he goes, oh, Armstrong's going to whack me. Huh? And I go, I'm just in the mood. And then we start tearing each other up. And Christy's going, boys. And I go, but she's playing along because but the listeners are thinking, oh, my God, they're really getting at each other.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't understand it's a show.
So Chick acts like he's going to the bathroom, different things. So I licked the top of his Pepsi. So I opened up the can and licked it. Christy goes, oh, my God. So Chick takes a drink, and I go, you got my DNA in your mouth, Or he'll go to the bathroom and won't wash his hands, and he'll walk by and just rub my face with his hand.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a payback to everything.
Yeah. They. I mean, a lot of the fans or the people that listen don't understand this. It's a show, but on the Bob and Tom show or in live, when I see comics live, some of them make me really uneasy because I can't believe some of the things that they say or that they're really that bad. And I say, well, it's leading up to something and it never goes anywhere.
Yeah. That's when they got a message or something stupid,
Yeah, but how do they not know? I mean, because I play for the audience. I want the audience involved, and I want them laughing and having a good time. And I can't see standing up there and not getting the reaction that I want without changing what I do.
Well, see, when I first started out, all the comics wanted to give a message or they wanted to be on the edge. And I said, my whole goal is to be a step above a knock-knock.
Okay.
And if you listen to my jokes, they're one-liners, boom, 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 and they're dumber than dumb. I mean, just listen to them. I mean, they're dumb. And that's what makes me laugh during my show, because I look at some people, and they don't get it. And I go, how can you not get what I'm saying?
Well, last night you rattled off several right in a row right at the end because you were working on the two ladies up front that just... I couldn't get a reaction out of them, and I let you handle it. But
yeah.
I don't think you did much.
I just wanted her to think that I wanted her to think that the audience thought we were dating.
Yeah.
And they knew we weren't.
Yeah.
But she wasn't sure if they knew that we weren't.
Yeah, it's people like that. I don't know why they pay to come to a comedy club.
You know what? It's a misery loves company thing.
I guess
to me. I mean, and I think she probably went through a bad divorce or something. She just hates men.
Yeah.
So
now it's kind of it's a small percentage that you got the chance, and Bob and Tom launched your career.
You're right.
All the other comics either getting into the business or that are in the business, or even what I do, my side. We're not comics, but we're entertainers, I guess. Variety entertainment.
Yeah, you're entertainment.
Yeah.
With some
what do you
comedy
do?
thrown in.
Yeah, what do you do if you can't get on the Bob and Tom? I mean, what's...
have somebody take you.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. But you're going to have to tell jokes,
Yeah.
Because you can't be a mentalist on their show,
Yeah, that's right.
They don't have time.
Yeah, Justin Willman is a magician. Do you know who he is? He was on Cupcake Wars. He was the host of that. But he's a magician. But now he's billing himself as a comic magician. And he was on Bob and Tom about a month ago or 2 months ago, and he was just on it again this week. They had him back. But he's got a Comedy Central special coming up and stuff like that too.
But he's probably got writers.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he probably buys jokes.
And Tom's always saying that he likes magic.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the staff kind of the gatekeepers keep the magicians and everybody else out.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to do on the radio.
Yeah.
You have to be.
It's kind of like being a mom. You know? They don't sell CDs. you know?
That's right. That's right.
I had a mom tell me one time, he goes, how come you sell so many CDs? I go, well, moms don't sell CDs.
No! And DVD, maybe.
They don't even sell those because people don't want to watch somebody acting like they're pulling a rope, you know? Oh, I'm walking against the wind. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what if somebody doesn't know anybody on the to get on Bob and Tom and doesn't know anybody that can get them on Bob and Tom? How does anybody succeed?
They don't get on.
Well, I mean, I know that, but I mean, just in the business itself.
You know what? It just don't happen. You know, you're just, unless you're in a movie,
It's just
forget
hard.
it. Yeah, forget it.
You're just doing open mics and maybe getting paid for a corporate gig here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys that do magic make a lot of money on corporate gigs.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But they underbid themselves.
And that's something I didn't do. You know what I did? I had a bunch of friends that were magicians, and so I became a hypnotist.
Yeah.
And so I started charging like $1,200, $2,600, and my price kept going up.
$5,000.
Yeah, my price kept going up as the years went by, and my magician friends were still charging like $500 to $750.
See?
And they said, "What's the difference?" They said, "Because it says hypnotist on my card, not magician. That's the only thing."
And you know what? I truly think the more you charge, the better they think you are.
That's
the
right.
The more demands you make, like, okay, I want a suite, I want food in my room, and I put that in my contracts. I want food in my room. I want, and I always come up. There's a drink in Kentucky that nobody else has. It's called Big Red. It's the number one drink in Kentucky. Beats Coke, everybody else. I always go 3 Big Reds in my room. Now they got to scramble to find Big Reds.
It's hard to find those.
Exactly.
We had them in Ohio too because I moved from there. Yeah.
Yeah. Now they got to scramble. But they think you're more important if the more difficult you make it. I don't understand that logic. It's just like this true story. A comic that's bigger than I am did a free show for these corporate people in Louisville.
Okay.
And they said, well, he did it free. And I said, well, how many gigs did he get out of it? And they said, none. I said, well, there you go. I said, $5,000. They said, well, we kind of budgeted only like $500. And I said, I can get you a $500 comic, but you're not going to have any fun. And they said, okay, we'll pay you $5,000. Now he did it for nothing, thinking he was going to get all these gigs. I mean, how dumb are you?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I found it though when I started, and my wife actually beat it into me, is that it's hard to sell myself.
I just think I'm the best at whatever I do.
Yeah, well, I'm getting better at it. I mean, I know I'm good, but it's hard to sell myself.
No, think of yourself as the best. Think of them that they're lucky to have you.
Yeah.
That you gave them that time in your life. Because a guy told me one time, and I live by it, we don't get paid for what we do. We get paid for the inconvenience of doing it. And I'd rather be at home with my dogs sitting on the couch.
Yeah, the travel time in airports and the car. And,
hey, I feel like going to bed now.
Yeah.
You know, and they're paying for it. And I want something. I want stuff out of life. I don't want to just, oh, God, man, I'm glad I got to pay my electric bill. You know?
Yeah.
I want part of the electric company. I want to buy stock in that.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's the way I feel about it. And if you don't want to harm me, that's fine. And you know what? A lot of people go, oh, have you worked for this club? And I go, no. They said I didn't fit. And I didn't take it personal.
Yeah.
I don't fit in their room. It's a different kind of clientele. And, you know, I don't work. There's a club up in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I like Ann Arbor. I think they're a bunch of trust fund yuppies. But I like the owner of the club, and he's actually a cop.
Yeah.
I don't fit there because they want somebody that's bad-mouthing Fox News.
Oh, got it, okay.
You know what I mean? They're trust fund yuppies. They protest. They were having a protest up there about killing cockroaches because they have a nervous system. There was like 2,000 students protesting killing cockroaches.
Got a few of those today.
But, and there's no place you can't eat meat.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they're So I'm up there, and all these trust fund yuppies, they got their backs turned to me. I mean, that's how ridiculous.
Really?
So I'm going, okay, I'm an impressionist. I go, here's my impression of hitting a baby rabbit in the head with a shovel. And I went, And they're walking out. I don't care.
Yeah.
My check's not going to bounce.
That's right.
And I could care less what these people think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said something on the radio one time. And all I said was, we cater to people that don't care about themselves. You know?
Yeah.
You don't want to finish high school? We'll give you a GED.
Oh, I feel the same.
You want to take care of them? We'll give you needles so you don't catch something. Oh, you're so fat you can't walk? Well, let's give him a good parking spot and a cart to drive. And I said, I'm in the grocery store, and this guy was so fat, and all he had in his thing was chips, cookies, and all that kind of stuff. You know, if you're too fat to walk, lose weight. And that's what I said. And I mean it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not the best in shape person, but I can walk. And now I got Weight Watchers protesting.
Do you really?
Yeah. And this is in my home club in Louisville.
Is that a good thing or bad thing?
I don't care. So they're all protesting. They buy tickets. And then they come in, turn their backs. So I had them go to Subway and buy me like 2-foot-long sandwiches and a big bag of chips, and I had a Coke. The whole show, I'm just cramming my mouth with it. And I'm talking like this. And food spit.
So their protest is paying it's your paycheck.
Yeah.
That's not much of a protest.
And I was getting 70% of the door.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense. That kind of is a good thing then.
You know, I don't care, you know.
Yeah.
And the woman calls in on and she goes, you don't know what it is to be heavy and everything. And I go, you know, I got a son that's overweight. I got 2 sons that are just bullbacks, just 100% muscle, and 1 son that's overweight. But he knows he's overweight, and he's trying to lose weight. You know, he's not riding in a cart or nothing. She want me. I go, lady, I'd sugarcoat this, but you would eat it. And that's why they that's why they protested me. And I thought, how ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind them protesting me though if they're buying tickets.
You know, everybody's so entitled. And oh, this is unacceptable. Whoever invented the word unacceptable should be shot. You know, and unacceptable. You know, you offended me. You know.
So how much longer are you going to be doing this?
Probably about 2 more years.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's it.
How'd you come up with that deadline?
I just decided I'm going to sell everything, and I'm going to buy like a little lake house in Kentucky, on a Kentucky lake, and just fish every day.
How do you stop? I mean, because
I've never really liked comedy.
It's a business.
It's a business.
Yeah, that's how I treat them.
I enjoy the people that I meet. I've made so many friends here in Hilton Head, and I mean, I feel like me and you are good friends.
Yeah.
I feel like Dr. Sizemore, the chiropractor, was working. I feel like me and him were good friends. We were goofing off. He was laying on my car this morning.
Why?
Because I came in early, and I'm sitting there texting one of my kids, and I look up, and he's like laying on my car with his face out of my windshield. You know? How many doctors do that, you know? Because I was telling him how hot his wife was and all that kind of stuff. He goes, man, she got a big head when we left. I go, well, me and Bill was talking about it. We thought she was hot.
Yeah, he's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had to send you to somebody because you couldn't walk when you got here. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like Frankenstein whenever I started finally getting to walk a little bit, man.
Now we have an official doctor of the club here.
Yeah, that's
because
cool.
Of you. Yeah.
You know, and you need one.
Yeah. Yeah, because being in a plane or in the car and all the travel,
you know, and
screws
every comic don't feel good when they get there, and half of them, you need to get a psychiatrist too, because half of them are nuts.
Yeah.
You know, they're going through something.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
I worked with a guy last week, and he was an alcoholic, and he had quit, and he was shaking all the time. And, you know, it's always something, you know.
Yeah. It absolutely
and you
is.
just, I don't take drugs, I don't drink, I don't hit on women, and I just want to do my job and leave. That's why, like, when I work clubs, most of the time the managers and the owners, they go on vacation when I'm there. Because they know there's not going to be one bit of trouble.
Yep.
Because I'm not going to do nothing. And I got that reputation of not causing any trouble. And I don't want no trouble, you know.
Yeah.
and I don't have nothing to prove. And like people, I'm a big Kentucky Wildcat fan. And somebody will want to argue with me about something. I go, you're about 30 years too late on that. 30 years ago I would have argued. I don't feel like arguing anymore. I just want to. If they win, they win. They lose, they lose. I go on with life. My bills are still on the table. My life is not going to change one way or another. Yep. And, so.
2 questions. First one is, what's the one thing, if somebody asks you what it takes to succeed in the business, what would you tell them? The number one thing, I guess.
I'd say be a person of your word. I don't even sign contracts. Most of the time it's they know if I say I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to cancel on them for a better gig that pays more. I've had gigs where I'm going to get paid $700 and then somebody offered me $7,000. I go, I can't do it.
Yeah, same here. I've never missed a show.
I don't do it. When I came in this here, all of them were, even the agents and that were going, you need to go on and go home. I said, I don't miss gigs. I walked in here, I couldn't even hardly walk. Right. I don't do that, If you do it once, second time gets easier.
That's true. That's true.
And I had a guy that traveled with me, and he was my regular opening act, and he missed 2 gigs. And they were stupid reasons. And I just told him, you're gone.
Yeah, that seems fair.
And he didn't understand that. He goes, well, but I said, in your world, you had a good excuse. In my world, you didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
Bad weather, too bad.
Yeah, everybody else was there to watch.
Yeah.
So you need to be there. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was literally I think they called it a level 2 snowstorm.
Yeah.
I called a cab from the hotel and hadn't. But I came in a day early because I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, you're playing for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And he was going to just try to drive 7 hours in 7 hours. And I go, why didn't you leave the day before? I don't do that kind of stuff. Well, you missed a gig. But the place was packed because those people were used to that crap, And he's gone.
Yeah, that seems fair. Well, last question, what do you want to be remembered for?
Just having a good time. Everybody knows I have a good time. I'm not a bad person. Everybody knows I'm a good person. I think I'm a good person. I treat everybody good. I always say put everybody on the payroll. Yeah. Tip good. Hotel staff, tip them, Yeah. Just keep everybody on the payroll and be nice. Just treat everybody the way you want to be treated.
There's not a whole lot of people in the business. There's some people in the business, but a lot of them don't. They don't treat people.
They're egomaniacs.
Yeah.
And don't take yourself serious. After I did the first TV show, I had 1,000 people going, hey, the doors are open, just walk through it. You're going to be big. And I go, yeah, right. Yeah. You're telling that to everybody that's doing what I'm doing, And literally, after you do like HBO and Comedy Central, CMT, you get a whole bunch of them together, you actually become depressed because you go, oh, what's going to happen now?
What's next?
And see, and I had an offer to be on a sitcom on CMT, and I turned it down because I said, I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on me to try to remember all these lines and be there 16 hours a day and just be miserable and want to put a gun in my head. I'm not going to do it for the money. I'd have made a boatload of money, but then I wouldn't have been able to be around my grandkids, my kids, and then I'd just been miserable all the time.
Yeah, you have to be clear on what you want.
Yeah, because, I'm 62 years old. I don't want to remember 10 pages of...
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Every week.
And I told him, I go, make me the wacky neighbor next door, 3 or 4 lines, I'm good. And I'll give you the best of the 3 or 4 lines. But I'm not going to do 8, 9 pages. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to try to remember all that crap. Yeah. I would just be miserable all the time. There would be so much... Think of it. How would you like to have to memorize like 10 pages or something every week?
Every week. And retakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything.
And I did commercials for CMT. I think it's one of them still out. And they were fun. And the one they used the most is the one I didn't say a word. Because I decided, I go, let's try it without me talking. And they said, okay. And I'm just making, like faces like I was, like, bored, you know. And it was Melissa. She's on Reba, the big tall
Oh, yeah.
She
I know
got her
her.
own sitcom. So she's going, oh, there's Mike Armstrong. Come here, Mike Armstrong. Come here, Mike. I got my own sitcom. And I'm just sitting there staring at her boobs. And she goes, I'm up here. And I go, huh. So she's talking to me, and I'm kind of like, you know, like got a bored look on my face. She goes, what are you thinking? I went, ugh, and I walk away. My son that's a very critical on me, because he's always been my critic, and I always go to him. He goes, God, I hate to say it, but it was actually funny. And he's a priest.
He's telling the truth then, right?
Yeah, he always tells me, you'd be nothing without me.
I need to keep that up. All right, well, we need to be, we open the doors in about a half hour here.
Oh,
so
man, this time went fast.
Yeah, we were shooting for a half hour. It went for an hour. So.
Oh, well, you use it.
Yeah, that's right. All right, well, Mike, I want to thank you for sitting
thanks
down
for having me, Bill.
Talking. And
can I call you Willie? Just for
sure.
this one time.
Just this one time. Yeah.
Thanks, Willie.
All right. Thanks.